Those shortcomings are yet to be corrected, and ACON, in its wisdom, is unable to continue with the PPE because I don't know how many people remember in Nigeria, exam malpractices is a criminal offense, and the council cannot be seen to endorse criminality. I say this with due respect to everybody involved in the process, but that's the position of the law. It has to be remedied before it can be looked at. The ACP is an ongoing program. However, in the last few days, the council has decided to look at an ACP-based program for licensure and registration. Details of that will be unveiled to the public shortly. I don't want to take the thunder of the president of ACON. It's his responsibility to unveil it, and he will unveil it using appropriate advertisement media. Second question is, what is the status of HND graduates? And I think I should take that with another question that says, what is the position of ACON on the conversion of Yaba Tech? And a further question that says that HND are not going to be given licenses. That statement in itself is not quite accurate. It is not true that HND graduates are not being registered by ACON. What is true is that they are registered by ACON as technologists. To be registered as a full architect, you must have a master's degree. And perhaps in the past, there had been shortcuts or sideways to get this registration. But the new council, in the spirit of being forthright and sticking within the ambit of the law, refuses to allow any shortcuts. If you must be registered as an architect, you must have the minimum qualification for an architect, and that is Masters of Science or its equivalent. And with the Faculty of Architecture coming on, because you will see a lot of people coming in now, there are different departments in the new faculty. They will not be registered as architects, they will be registered according to what they studied. So for me, I don't see any problem in registering a technologist as a technologist, in registering an architect as an architect, in registering a landscape architect as a landscape architect. We all cannot be architects, and if we want to be architects, we need to just simply fulfill the minimum requirements. So what is the status of HND? It's very alive and well, but you are a technologist. Question number 3. Why has there been no discipline for exam malpractices and other infractions? Again, this is not an accurate statement. I am aware as a member of council that council have had occasion to discipline members, even as much as suspending their license or even revoking their registration if necessary. Also, I want to point out that there is the Architect Disciplinary Tribunal, which was, what's the word now? Is it inaugurated or is it empowered or, well, empaneled by the Chief Justice of the Federation. So it is a legal court. And architects who violate the rules of the game or the rules of the conduct of the game will face the tribunal. The only thing is the process is a bit lengthy. You have to go through investigation and all that. But yes, like the Governor Fayede said, we need to discipline ourselves as architects, and this present council, and indeed even the last council, is very, very clear on the way forward on discipline of architects. Question number 4, why ACON not pre-submitting jurors? Okay, this is from our HOD. Sir, ACON is not a school. So ACON does not pretend to be a school. So it's not a question of ACON looking for academicians to carry out an academic exercise. The academicians are well able to do their exams themselves without ACON. That's under the NUC. What ACON is saying is that these graduates are coming to the field to work. They will work in schools, they will work in practice, they will work in building industry, in finance industries, and like our great father, Architect Dan, even in the bank. And the requirements for those different industries are quite different from academic requirements. So the best person to test is a real-world practitioner. The academicians have tested and awarded the degrees, and we are happy with it. After all, the academic environment is also accredited by ACON. However, ACON needs to be sure. So ACON approaches professionals who have achieved in their different fields of endeavor to come and look at the work of the young coming architects. And so as a way to help them get to the level needed for them to get jobs or create jobs for themselves. That cannot happen only with purely academics. ACON is not trying to get into the academia, sir, and it will not try. ACON is just ACON. We will leave the academia alone. It doesn't mean that the academicians are not part of ACON. Indeed they are. Because the academia is also a vital industry for architects to work in. So it's just one of the industries, it is not the only industry. I hope I have cleared that, sir.
Not quite.
Asked by, which I consider a very brilliant question. How does the public get access to the list of licensed architects? I will raise up my hand. Guilty as charged. The ACON website is a disgrace. There's no point hiding it. The list of architects there is in 2013, we're in 2016. The list of accredited schools is 2015, we're in 2019. So it's a problem to be solved, and we will take it from here and we'll solve that problem. You have our word on that. Talking about this because for 4 years I was fortunate to be in charge of town. Actually, that is why they don't want to see the architects, because they are using your drawings to do business. And we tried our best to get the law. I even got the 7 professional bodies together in my state. They sat down, they drafted the law. The law struggled and is still struggling to get passed and all that. But one of the things we've noticed is that one of the easiest ways to get around these issues is to get your states to adopt the building code. Because if the states adopt the building code, the architect is a major participant in the building code. And it is true that we need the laws, and the ACON and architects have to get more politically involved. Perhaps one of our problems are small numbers, but ACON is already tackling that strategically, and our numbers will increase. Our people will be encouraged to go into the different strata. We will encourage our people to go into government, into politics, like the presenter said. We need to have architects everywhere so that we can fight for ourselves. Thank you.
Done. Because I could not, as ACON president, I could not have gone against the law of the land. It's the law of the land that says there should be jury. It's not me. And as rightly said, if you want to be registered or your products to be registrable, they must submit, you must submit them to this process. Your refusal to do so is why our number is down. ACON struggles to more or less force you, the schools, to bring them out. Don't shut them out. Thank you very much.
Is that I always say that the universities don't own the professions. They learn these professions from these courses from the professional bodies, and that is the beginning of accreditation. And they are not down the stream now. For example, 200 years ago, there was no university-trained architect. They trained by articleship. And when the universities wanted to start having these courses, the professional bodies made it a point of duty that the courses must be accredited. It was a beginning thing. I don't think that the universities can, in the midway. The older universities have a problem because there are those old professors, professor of Igbo language, professor of Yoruba literature, who will be comparing architecture with their own. That's the problem in the older universities. I always tell the universities where I'm involved in that the universities don't own these courses, and it's an historical fact. And I think what we must do is let these universities realize, maybe ACON will then help us to let the universities realize that in the beginning, these professions were lent to the universities, and they can't be claiming ownership midstream. That's my contribution. Thank you very much.
What do we do to curb the excesses of hijackers, political hijackers of projects? What do we do in the context of the Executive Order 5? If you look at the extract, one of the extracts from the Executive Order 5, it says punishment for violation of the Executive Order. The punishment for violation of this Executive Order shall be as stipulated by the Public Service Rules and the relevant laws governing public procurement and professional practice in Nigeria. There are laws governing professional practice in Nigeria with respect to violation of this law. So, but the problem we have is that when these incidents occur, we complain, we grumble, but we don't pass through the regulatory body to lay our complaints. So I want to be of the opinion that when incidences of such occur, we should, as far as we are complaining, we should pass through the relevant regulatory body, which is ACON, to lay our complaints, and ACON should take prompt actions towards curbing such excesses.
Questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hold on. Not additional.
Entrepreneurship. How philanthropy is an opportunity for the architect. By simple definition, philanthropy simply means dispensing or receiving aid from funds set aside for humanitarian purposes. Dispensing or receiving aid from funds set aside for humanitarian purposes. So, as a primary example, like the people in UNHCR was presenting yesterday, architects can be involved in those things. You don't have to just lie back and wait for jobs. You can be involved in those IDP resettlement things. That's a clear opportunity. Another opportunity, which I think it's a little bit more like a bottom-up approach, is my co-author, even as far back as 1980s, was working for Multi Designs in Kano. Now, as this is like an internal thing, but I think we should share it. Philanthropy for that setup, the way I got the idea is, when they are working for religious bodies, for instance, whether it's mosque design, churches, NGOs generally, they do it almost for free. But as you are working on...
It can be done for small population and it can also be done for large population. So you can randomly select the category of people you want in your research. And due to time constraint, in collecting back the questionnaires, because I used 150 and 94 was retrieved. So collecting back, definitely along the line you will have some lapses from some people, probably missing, and some might even be spoiled, or some might not even answer your question. So the available things that you get is what you will answer. So that's the reason for choosing 150 and the 194 being retrieved. So it's very important to randomly select different categories of people at different levels due to the psychological and physical effects of colors towards us. So it's a subjective thinking. So people will subjectively answer your questions. That's why I use the questionnaire mode. So when you are into psychology, you have to do that. It's very, very important. So that's it. I hope I answered your question.
Why do I make reference to American with Disability Act Accessibility Guideline and not the Disability Act in Nigeria? As the name implies, the American with Disability Act and Accessibility Guideline is a working document. It's with enforceable standard and specification. This document was produced by the United States Access Board and it's enforceable by the Department of Works and the Department of Justice in the United States. It's also adopted by the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability, which Nigeria is equally under. This document has been in existence and regularly updated like every 1 year for the past 20 years. But unlike the Nigerian Disability Act, which has been in the bill has been in the National Assembly for the past 18 years. and it was just signed in 2018. It's just a first step in the implementation of the obligations of UN Convention on Persons with Disability. But relevant authorities still have the responsibility of making it a working document. If you look at it, it just has definition of various concepts and the rights these persons have. It doesn't have guidelines and specifications that we architects could use yet. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're rounding up quickly. Any more questions?
NIA to the podium to round up, making statements and round up the colloquium. You're welcome, sir. A round of architects, a round of applause to our president. Thank you.
Out of it, and let us move forward. I know one of the things you want to hear this afternoon is where we are. Where we are. I think one person said architects should sponsor bills. They're not illiterate. I don't want to hear the builder sponsor a bill, engineer sponsor a bill. Therefore, we have to go through the back door. Why don't you be bold and say, Mr. Governor, this is wrong. I do that in my state. I must have seen yesterday. Two of my past governors were president and senators of the state. We must be involved. If you do things at your back, you are finished. You must talk. You must agitate like Aliyu. I am the only person who can say, Oga, no way. By the instrument conferred on me, I say, no way. And to be fair to him, it's a man that you stay yourself, put up argument, he will listen to you. But for those who are mindset, you will not get it. I don't praise anybody in my life, but that's it. Yesterday I was very, very happy that the past office holders were honored. Of course, as the registrar said, we are not using the council money. This council will contribute money. We have raised no less than registrar 7 million, 6 million towards the house.
6 million.
6 million. Leaders are not taking, they are giving. I personally put 2 million back. And the dinner of Yes Alliance was sponsored by my good self to show leadership. And it was an interesting one. We honor those who are dead. We honor those who are alive. Because when this year the stone man, very stone, very clean, said he wants to leave the post, I said you are leaving when I'm leaving. So please clap for Faraja again. As I said, for the next 3 years, I'm seeing the person will be commanding them, both old and small and you must go. Yes, that is leadership. And I thank you again. The Colloquium is so rich this year. We are improving on it by the grace of. We are starting yesterday, the one we are going to do next year. And we say we will provide resources. We will do that by the grace of God. The coming generation has to be proud of us. We don't have to leave a tattered house behind. You want to hear today, as we are laying foundation of our home, call it our home, we must be building the mind. And through education, we can achieve that. So the joint examination, which will be coming up, I know people are waiting for that. This one has been settled, but one thing I want you to know, in any house, this house is going stronger and beautiful, and they agree. Because the bastard of the house has not emerged. When a home is sweet 17, it means there is no bastard in the house. You can't but see some people who caliber. You can't but see some people who argue against. But now, the meeting of the mind has been met. We are carrying on the one program together with NIA and ACON within the next 1 month. I know you will be saying that yes, you want to know the date, you want to know the details. I don't know the details myself because I pray before I do anything, and I know God will be behind it. All the sessions that are there will ensure we look into within the next few days by the grace of God. Yes, some people are saying it's not conclusive, it's a lie. It's done. Let them rise in the middle of the night, in the morning. We are going to win. Enough is enough of this problem. So I can assure you, young people, in our more we are still there today, we will lead you around. We are expanding. I keep on telling people we are going. You are the people that will replace us. At 60, 65. But I can't eat more than twice a day. Now, I can't take 2 solid food at 65. So I'm going. Yes. Accident Aliyu is going. Accident Baraja is packing his load. Accident Manko is already at the gate. They have to leave something behind for the coming generation. Please, clap for pressure is there. I keep on telling people I don't know what I'm finding around. Those who probably say you are supposed to be there, I keep on asking myself, what am I doing around? I pray that God will tell me what I'm doing at the end of my tenure. I pray every day because when some people talk to you, they talk to you anyhow, and the architect. We should respect ourselves. We should discipline ourselves. We should be focused. It's when you are focused, you are able to think of what to do, of the legacy you are leaving behind. So the young ones, instead of saying they should take time to think. Some people write, yesterday night, you saw today I'm not so active. One departmental lecturer engaged me for 2 hours. No, 3 hours after a dinner. But as usual, I gave it back to him. I don't know whether it's around. Either it's around, you should not stand up. Because somebody has come again this afternoon to say the professional body, Architects Registrar Council of Nigeria, to raise the standard of education, practice, and registration. Do you know that you may say, no, I can register all of you this in 10 minutes? Do you know I remain the only person who can register Aliyu? So, we are very lucky people. We have very intelligent leaders. I was fortunate to work with so many firms, employment associations. I said it was right. And we are following, as a matter I told you, we are following to our current trend. We are following. Therefore now, you have to study. And be begged. Because I'm reporting now because when I raise my arm and I say pursue him, I can assure you, I told my friend yesterday that even like this, being allowed to sleep well. I said, he now said 2007. Well, this is some of us are aware of this. He said, I came to your factory and I wanted to buy a dialogue machine. And he said, you knew this for a long time. I think I knew this secret and power. So some of us are not here to steal your money. We are going to give. Allow us to give back. that somebody who was my classmate in university saying they should not come for jury. What is jury? You display your drawings. We went to Cyprus, sir, where is the register? Yes, sir. We went to Cyprus. You saw beautiful designs. It's like we should carry all the architects inside one trailer and bring them to Nigeria for designing for us. They submit themselves to us. They submitted. But here, if there is nothing to hide, why are you protecting these children to show us what they are? They cost. Then you keep on saying the cost. One shoe they wear is money. Yesterday, sir, please don't have mindset. Architecture, I'm sorry, forgive me. Forgive me for this. I was a poor student, but architecture is not made for the poor. I was in university for 7 years. First set of myself. We were walking outside. We were teaching to see ourselves through history. Loan. Abroad, they get loans to study. Some of us have children that are architects. I have. You train that. Yes. So, poverty, we are becoming poor. I now say, how much are you asking for you? From you? Your university was the first university of architecture. I now divide, he didn't do the mathematics. I said 500,000. I said, how many, what is the average student in your school that graduates every year? He said 70. I said, divide 500 by 70. Can somebody please give me that what it comes to? You are not mathematician. He said 8,000 naira. Sir, 7,000 plus. Please, where is that brother that you look at? It's money. It's money. 8,000 naira. You are saying a student of architecture cannot afford 8,000 naira a year? This is poverty. Not poverty of money, poverty of demand. So again, accreditation and will continue. If any department messes up, we are going to withdraw the last day accreditation. Is that not okay? Number 2, the examination. I'll talk about that. Number 3, some questions have been asked. 10,000 is for me. But I'm telling it, and I subsidize it. Check it up. So please, go back to your universities. I understand there's external examiners. It is part of your academic program. It's not for practice. They call it practice. Let me tell you, most of the students, most of the people you turn out from Nigerian universities, we start again to be training them in our office. Out of sympathy, we employ them. They knew next to nothing. If you doubt me, I'll give you a drawing I'll be keeping. I employed master degree holder to design a bungalow. The steep foundation is high, is the length of the foundation is more than the superstructure. No, I don't give it to lie. I say straight. I now call this lady. I said, what is happening to you? He told me that he has never done section of a foundation before. I said, okay, tell me 5 different types of foundations. She looked at me. Mention 1 or 2. Have you been reading? Architects, they don't read anymore. If they do not teach, if they are not taught, why don't you go and read and carry on research? I told them about 7. So these are things we should be learning during our time. We should be reading, not all these nonsense things. I'm happy the governor said yesterday that marry the past with the present. So I enjoin you that please carry out your research. You have set up a research session in Akon now that will do a lot of things. letter that we are going to be reading out for you to read to see what the research department is doing, and we are going to put money there. Please, we need your cooperation, particularly the lecturers, so that we can sleep well, we can think. When you sit down in your bedroom, ask yourself, do you need a practice detailing specification? You are losing your profession to other professions. QS, last seminar we have in Lagos, they said they should, they said the architect will finish work and say, go and do specification. You are losing your profession to others. In those days, we are doing mechanical drawing, electrical drawing together with a one-story building. We take it to Japan, we are processing it. Nobody was able to adapt it for us. Nobody can adapt your job. As the person said yesterday, how do you evidence your job? Your job is key for you. How to make clients to release their wallet to you. Go and learn and see that. You will see that they release their wallet. Through evidencing your projects. So please, the young people, today now there is smart home all over the world. Are you assessing it? Detailing, the world is moving. In 10 years time, when I write it down, there are going to be coded architects. Nobody, if you are not careful, will patronize it. Go and read what coded architect means. Go and read smart home. Make sure you have knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is money. They will be abusing you, all those people to reach their people. You want architect leader poor. He was poor when he was born. You want him to be poor. It means it's cost. So please, there are so many things to be doing in attention, diversification, and the lecturers should concentrate on research to generate money. The guy was held for 2 to 3 hours yesterday, which is too bad. So I thank you all for attending this colloquium. I'm very grateful personally to you, individual, the smallest architect in the country. We are very happy with you, and we continue to give back. Sir, yesterday the registrar said when he was coming to become registrar, his head was black. When he was going, he's now with like a stone white architect. Myself, I was very active when I started, but now I'm so weak that I can't touch my wife again. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
My brother, I think we will give you 1 week to go arrest, so that you will be able to perform.
Registrar.
Yes.
No. What you win?
Okay, distinguished architects will move on to
Colloquium. It's amazing. Yesterday during the opening ceremony, everywhere was filled up. Upstairs, along the aisles, everywhere was filled up. Please, let's give ourselves a hand of applause. And we are raring to go for AQ training. Schools of architecture, I think we had quite a turnout with students. And I'm also appealing to HODs here present that next year they should also release their students to join us. There's so much to learn. I also noticed that we had a very good mix of the generations in this colloquium. That means the learning process continues. In our opening ceremony, we saw the presence of policy makers. And we were able to look at a few things. I'm sure ACON will not end it here. That in the next 1 year, there's so much to be done. And that by the time we meet in 2020, you will see that we have made progress. The proceedings, the mind-rubbing, the proposals that are going to be taken up. I know that the director of Colloquium plans that whatever communique we come up with today, that it will be pursued very vehemently, so that by the time we meet again, we'll have some positive things to look at. I want to thank everybody here, and I want to thank ACON for this colloquium and for the progress the colloquium has made in the 12 years it has been here. Thank you so much.
Concerning the presentation of AQ 2020 proposals, the structure and proposals are still in process. Director has said this proposal will be sent to every registered architect as soon as it is ready. The particular person in charge of communique, are you ready?
We are only trying to do is to make sure our standards are raised, especially some of the new universities that are coming. The other universities, we don't have much problem, but even then, they are becoming a problem for us. Because I will give you an example of ABU and Lagos University. Though that has been cleared now, we are having a problem with them as far as accreditation and juryship is concerned. You see, what we are doing is for the interest of the students. What we are doing is for the interest of the whole country. So please, especially the heads of department that are here, kindly cooperate with ACON so that we can raise the standard. Because we help you. When we come, whatever we observed, and we pass it to the VC, definitely is something that has to be implemented. If we don't do that, then you will continue to drain and the quality will continue to fall down. And that is what we always try to avoid by training for teachers. Yes, sir. Are you ready? Yeah. The colloquium, we will also discuss about the participations. We discuss about the papers presented, deliberated, and expert contributions from respected professionals. We made a lot of observations, and we made a lot of recommendations on sustainability, promotion of architecture and internal development, displacement, building finishes and added values. APRN has been added to appropriate development, control and building failures, capacity building for the architects, and national development. In conclusion, actually, what the community says is architects have remained the engine rooms of sustainable built environment across the globe. Nigerian architects are encouraged to continue to play this role effectively through advanced technology and managerial initiatives such as A, sustained maintenance of very high professional service delivery standards as established by ACON Act. B, incorporation of sustainability in the education and practice of the profession. C, evolving policies in the certification, optimization, and design of energy efficiency in our built environment. D, assisting the government at all levels in the provision of housing for the internally displaced. And E, embrace and encourage the APRN as a means to take cookery, enhance development control, and instill professionalism in their services. At the end, we have appreciation. The 12th edition of the Architects Colloquium successfully ended on Friday, 26 April 2019. The Colloquium deeply appreciates the participation of the federal government of Nigeria, state governments, Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, various government consultants, our resource persons, allied professional bodies, sponsors, product exhibitors, international participants and all stakeholders. In all, it also appreciates the universities and polytechnics in Nigeria that have participated. We are very proud of that. The noteworthy participation and contributions of the president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Njoku Adibe, FNIA, PNIA, the executive governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the former governor of Ekiti State, Otumba Adebayo, the executive governor of Jigawa State, ably represented by his deputy, the former governor of Ekiti State, Otumba Adebayo, are highly appreciated. The colloquium recognizes the contributions of the planning and scientific committee and the rapporteurs towards the success of the event. And that brings us to the end of Colloquium 2019. Now, I think we can call for a closing prayer.
What the registrar just read out is a draft. We want all the participants to participate in fine-tuning the community. So I'm going to send these to your email address. Please, as quickly as possible, respond if you have any major issue you want to be included in the community. I want to thank you all for this wonderful outing. I'm so surprised that we have even surpassed the benchmark we planned for this colloquium. But I'm not too happy with the turnout of the students. So I need to make an appeal to the head of departments that the colloquium is a major outing for the architects, and it happens only once in a year. The calendar is very clear, it's always in April, the third week in April. I think we should try and program in such a way that most of our students will be free for that week so they can fully participate in the colloquium. They are the younger ones we are going to bring up, and the head of the department should encourage their students to attend. I want to thank those who have helped the students to be here, and others that have not done so should please encourage their students. Thank you very much, and I wish all of you safe journey to your various destinations. Thank you very much. I will meet next year.
Wonderful. You've guided us in spite of who we all are. You have helped our association, you've helped all the attendees. We thank you that you made this a very wonderful, and above all, increase our knowledge of who you are. We thank you for granting us peace in this profession. We ask that your peace be sustained as we move on. We ask that you grant us traveling mercies as we travel back to our various destinations, and grant that we continue to do the best that each and every one of us can to make sure that this country continues to grow the way you have fashioned it. We pray and ask that our prayer be answered through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well done.
Baba,
they are still great.
I respect very low.
Please,
except for that.
Please announce. Quickly.
Congratulations.
Please go for your team grade, architects, their team grade.
What do you think is my problem?
They come and they're asking us to ask them what they are asking. And we have made their statement. When will that be so? Why was it required? Are they making money? Is it to make money? Is it not a financial? I know when some